Anne Baxter's role as Queen Nefertari in the classic movie The Ten Commandments will forever be remembered as one of the most scintillating performances in Hollywood's history. Although she died 38 years ago, we're just getting to learn some interesting and maybe shocking things about her life that were not public knowledge until now. We'll share all the details with you in this video, including some of her works you may never have heard of. With that said, let's get right into it. Anne was born into a well-to-do family in Michigan City, Indiana, on May 7, 1923. Her father, Kenneth Baxter, was an executive in the insurance industry, and her mother, Catherine Wright, was a socialite from a family of prominent architects. The Baxters eventually divorced when Anne was young, leading to a nomadic upbringing that saw her shuttling between her father's home in New York City and her mother's home in Beverly Hills. However, despite all the changes in her life, one thing was certain: Anne's parents were both supportive of her early passion for theater. At the age of 11, Anne began attending the prestigious Theodora Irvine School in New York, and it was here that she got her first taste of theater as she watched a Helen Hayes performance. This greatly inspired her to pursue an acting career and further hone her craft. Anne then went on to attend the Theodora Irvine School of Theater for 2 years, beginning in 1934, where she also received acting lessons from Russian Broadway actress Maria Ospenskaya, who was well known for her dedication to the method acting technique. It was Anne's dedication and hard work that led her to finally make the big break into Broadway in 1936, where she appeared in a play called Seen But Not Heard. However, as she was still too young, the producers all rejected her for future roles. But Anne didn't let this discourage her from pursuing her dream. Instead, she made the decision to go home and spent the next 2 years honing her craft in summer stock theater, which eventually paid off when she returned to Broadway in 1938 and took a role in There's Always a Breeze and Madam Cape. As her star began to ascend, an enigmatic figure, Alfred Hitchcock, took notice. He saw something special in Anne, offering her a screen test for the iconic role in Rebecca. Yet, once again, the veil of youth stood in her way, overshadowing her undeniable talent. Despite this setback, Anne's career was finally on the rise when she was offered a 7-year contract with 20th Century Fox in 1940. Her movie career began shortly after that when MGM loaned her out to make a Western called 20 Mule Team. This was quickly followed by roles in other Fox B movies such as Charlie Za and the Pied Piper in 1941 and 1942, respectively. It was then that Anne finally made her big break in Hollywood when she starred in Orson Welles' classic movie, The Magnificent Ambersons, for RKO Pictures in 1942. But amidst the glitz and glamour, a love story unfolded that no one could have predicted. On the set of Sunday Dinner for a Soldier, Anne met the charismatic actor John Hodiak. Sparks flew, and their on-screen chemistry blossomed into a romance beyond the reach of prying eyes. The heartthrob and the rising star became the talk of the town as their passion burned bright under the Hollywood spotlight, eventually leading to their marriage in 1946. As Anne's personal life blossomed, so did her career. Her journey to fame started with a bang as she took the silver screen by storm in The Razor's Edge, a spellbinding adaptation of W. Somerset Maugham's renowned novel. The movie's triumph not only secured her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 1946, but also opened doors to grander opportunities. Soon she found herself gracing the screen alongside Hollywood's finest in Smokey and Angel on My Shoulder, setting ablaze the hearts of audiences in 1946 and 1948, respectively. It was also during this time that she was cast alongside Gregory Peck, Richard Widmark, and Joseph Cotten in 1948 Western Yellow Sky. Her defining moment came when she donned the persona of the cunning and manipulative Eve Harrington in the 1950 classic All About Eve. Directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, the film became an instant masterpiece, showering accolades upon its two leading ladies, Bette Davis and Anne Baxter. Her portrayal earned her an Oscar nomination, but unfortunately, it was not enough to beat out Judy Holliday, and she had to make do with the nomination instead. Despite her successes, Anne's career was not without its lows. After the success of All About Eve in 1950, she found it increasingly difficult to secure well-paid roles in major motion pictures. Although she received offers for many films, many of them failed to live up to expectations, and were considered box office flops, such as Follow the Sun, Full House, and My Wife's Best Friend. Following the flopping period of her movies, Anne's personal life experienced its own highs and lows. After 7 years of marriage, the Hollywood glamour couple, Anne and John Hodiak, decided to part ways in 1953. Rumors of their incompatibility had been circulating for a while, but it was the ice-cold silence between them that ultimately led to their divorce. Anne herself admitted that it was the unspoken words and growing estrangement that led her to utter the dreaded word, divorce. Anne and John went their separate ways, but her career in Hollywood was far from over. In a twist of fate, Anne was called up for a last-minute substitution for Anna Björk in Alfred Hitchcock's I Confess. Despite pulling off a remarkable performance, the film didn't quite make it to the top of the classic list, leaving Anne, once again, just shy of the resounding success she craved. Later, in the same year, she mesmerized the whole audience with her captivating performance in the film noir, The Blue Gardenia, where she starred alongside Richard Conte. Despite her praised performance, the movie was not enough to overshadow the average films she had been appearing in during this period. It's as if the film industry was playing a game of hide-and-seek with Anne, one moment offering her the spotlight and the next leaving her in the shadows of anonymity. Yet, Anne refused to surrender. She then went on to show her acting skills as Nefertiti in Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments in 1956. She delivered a tour-de-force performance that earned rave reviews and marked the turning point of her career. Riding the wave of her resurgence, Anne found herself falling in love once again. But this time, it was an Australian rancher, Rudolf Galt, who captivated her heart during the filming of Summer of the 17th Doll in Sydney in 1959. His rugged Aussie charm beckoned her to leave America and embrace a new life on Galt's cattle station north of Sydney. Love bloomed, and so did her career, both taking unexpected turns. Amidst life's twists and turns, Anne ventured into unfamiliar territory, the small screen. In 1958, she secured a guest role on the popular television series 77 Sunset Strip. This was a departure from her film career, but Anne embraced the change with open arms, surprising everyone with her versatility. The lights were different, the sets smaller, and the audience arguably more intimate, but Anne took to television like a duck to water. She further embraced the small screen when she starred alongside John Wayne in 1960 Western, Saga of Cimarron. Although it didn't receive much recognition at the time, this film would later be considered one of the best Westerns ever made, and Anne's performance was praised by audiences and critics alike. Anne went on to appear in many other television shows over the years, such as Wagon Train, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and The Wild Wild West, which were all well received by audiences. And if you don't know, she even made guest appearances in the popular Batman series of the mid-1960s. After her stint in the Batman series, where she portrayed the quirky villainess Zelda the Great, Anne's personal life once again took a tumultuous turn. Her marriage with Rudolf Galt, the rugged Australian rancher, came to an end. The intense glares of the spotlight and the grueling film schedules had taken a toll on their relationship, leading to a divorce in 1969. Anne cited extreme cruelty in the divorce petition and moved together with her two daughters from the sunny coast of Australia to the tight-knit community of New Mexico, then Hawaii, and eventually settling in the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles. Anne's third marriage was to stockbroker David Klee in 1977, but their time together was brief and sadly cut short 9 months later when he passed away suddenly. Anne never remarried after that, and continued to live in the property she and Klee had purchased in eastern Connecticut in 1976. In 1984, Anne accomplished one of her lifelong dreams when she published her autobiography, Intermission, A True Story. The book detailed her life and career in Hollywood while also giving us a glimpse into the mysterious woman behind the iconic actress. That same year, she gave her final movie performance in the Sherlock Holmes mystery TV film, The Masks of Death. Sadly, Anna Baxter passed away in 1985 at the age of 62. While visiting Manhattan, she suffered a stroke and was unable to regain consciousness. Her body was cremated, and her ashes were interred in the family cemetery located on the Frank Lloyd Wright estate in Wisconsin. Anne's life was far from perfect, but her struggles and successes can still be seen inspiring and influencing many in the entertainment industry today. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.